Good morning or afternoon, wherever you may be, and welcome to the last day of Week 3 of the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Winter League. Chaos Confusion flag set in play. Today we got juef17, YakkoWakko20, and Vennicus vying for that big 5 points in that first place win. Hi everybody, I'm DK9146. Alongside me today in the booth is going to be Aaron2U2. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great, and good evening to all you Eastern Europeans. I am looking forward to this one. This is, I believe, Group 6. So these are people who are just right below the halfway point going through the first two races. And so obviously a win here really helps your playoff chances, but a loss doesn't really eliminate you just yet.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you'd like to get that extra 5 coming out here. We see that Juef has 6 points while the other 3 have 5. So either 11 or 10, depending on who wins, puts you in a pretty decent spot after 3 weeks for sure.
Right, and as we look forward to what we're going to have today with the Chaos Confusion flag set, if you've seen some of the races this week already, you know, but we have random but also very fast experience, which sometimes is a bit of a lie. We'll see. We might need that. There may be some huge breaks. We do have the Chaos enemies, which means the stats and the rewards are both randomized, so you might see a red dragon right off the bat worth 1 experience.
Yeah, it's always interesting here. We do have these runners going to start with some decent stats here, though. They got 27 strength coming out of the gate, so should have some decent times at least hitting some enemies. Whether they kill them is another story.
Right. That's always the concern when you have Chaos flags, even though there is a provision set to make one enemy, you know, ostensibly killable. It doesn't always work that way, and But the fact that we got 27 strength probably means that we're not going to see anyone stuck in level 1 jail for too long. But you never know. Sometimes it just happens anyway.
Yeah, it tends to be an issue where the noodle just doesn't want to show up for you. And for those wondering what a noodle is, the noodle is an enemy that's guaranteed in zones 0 through 2 that should be killable. And with 27 strength, will definitely be killable by these people.
Yeah, the one thing that can be tricky with them sometimes, the agility isn't necessarily guarded. But there we go. On top of the 27 strength, we're starting with Erdrick's armor. So, wonderful start.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to have the best armor the money can't buy. Let's just hope no one forgets that they have it and sells it and picks up an alternate item that's not recoverable.
All right, and it looks like we see fairy water. I missed the first chest, gold, and gold. So a whole lot of gold, not really unsurprising when you have a no keys seed, or is what you might call infinite keys. Gold chests all the key chests get replaced with gold, so it tends to be a lot more common.
Exactly, and we do have at least YakkoWakko going around while the others are gold grinding. Finds a set of wings on the right side. We'll see if there's a chest at the bottom here and maybe a check at the bottom. Meanwhile, we do have Vennicus a little behind. I don't know if that's a stream delay or something of nature. We'll get him lined up here, so we'll just keep that in mind as we move forward.
Oh, and he's abandoning the rear chest. We've seen some people do this. Week 2, that made a lot of sense. I'm a little less convinced in week 3, but you know, if you got 27 strength on the armor, you're not really concerned about shopping right off the bat, are you?
Not too much, no. It is nice to have a little gold, but he's going to get a little over 1,000 just off those 2 gold chests. And we'll also be going around to the right side, and we should have a check of the basement here momentarily.
Yeah, so we did, as you did mention, we do see a bit of a gold grind up there. I think HaateXIII popped in and out of the treasury to get that active, which is something you can do right at the beginning of the game. And in the basement, King Lorik has locked up an old man who has nothing.
Yeah, but he looked pretty happy there with his nothing. So nothing immediately available when they come out except Sharlock to the east.
It's nice to see Sharlock off the bat, but then also it doesn't really do anything for you. So it's just kind of there. First enemy, a wizard with stop spell spam. Now, we do know that this cannot be the noodle because the noodle has no abilities, but this still might be killable. But it probably isn't. Yakko is doing no damage right now, so it must have a little bit of agility.
Exactly. He did throw the fairy water out, got an 11, but ultimately didn't get anything. We do have a red dragon down for Vennicus for 6 experience in the next level.
Yeah, I was joking about the red dragon. You know, it looks like that might be our noodle in this one because it just went down in just a big pile.
Yeah, and he got heal more at level 2. 6 from a metal scorpion. We got a regular scorpion up top with hurt.
Yeah, not too bad. Juef getting his level 2, finally getting an enemy down. Yakko still working on this wizard who, with the stop spell spam, this could go on for a very long time.
Exactly. We know he's got okay agility at minimum. I mean, there's still only 20-something strength at level 1, but he's doing a lot of 0s to 1s.
As mentioned, Scorpion gave us a pretty nice pile of experience there. Hate going immediately back in to get the magic refill because he jumped straight to level 10.
Yeah, I think we saw a mention of a Star Wyvern with DL2. Now the Gold Man joins them as well with DL2 Breath also.
Well, it makes sense. You always like to see the Goldmen, operating as a pizza oven.
Oh man, Yakko might be in for a while here. He just did an excellent move for 15, so got all that extra damage and still fighting.
Well, you get some, you just expect once it's done, it's going to be worth like 5 experience. With Juef taking out, what was that, 182 experience, 183? Pretty good Scorpions.
Yeah, very, very nice. Meanwhile, Vennicus is able to take on his wizard at level 9. I missed what the experience was as getting another level out of it, though.
It was 12, I believe, so...
Well, if Yakko does eventually get there, that's going to be a brutal discovery. I mean, it will be a couple levels, but geez, you would hope for a little more after, gosh, we've been about 3 minutes on this fight now.
You see, the Goldman's were 63. He did take the breath right to the face, but his Goldman was a little squishy on top of it, so...
Well, we got triple wizards going right now. We got another Scorpion popping up over here with Vennicus, and he'll get that nice word about the 183.
And Yakko gets the second crit on the wizard and gets the rewarding 12 experience. Well, at least he's out of level 1 jail and doesn't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, hopefully if he runs into another one, he immediately ejects from that situation. Does come across the Scorpion, but it runs away.
Oof, that's the one thing that'll keep you from trying to hunt those Scorpions at the beginning, I think. But then, again, if you're getting level 11, level 10 at this point, you might not want to stick around for too long, especially when the hit points are so good. You have hit points, like, Juef here has everything but hurt more. The only thing he could really be hoping for by sticking around is a little bit more MP, and so far we haven't seen any real need for that. So it looks like everyone is, with the exception of Yakko, has got the exploration gas on.
Yeah, absolutely. Agility is kind of trailing a little bit as well, but that'll still come. They got plenty of time here to get that caught up. Spectre's hitting a little hard down there.
Yeah, and he took a couple of hits too. So unless that was really close to killing him and, maybe a hurt more would take him out, that might not be the best enemy to fight. But again, we'll see. We don't know where the big experience values are hidden. Hopefully they are hidden on some enemy and not somewhere on a different seed.
Yeah, exactly. And after that death, we saw that level 12's not coming until just slightly over 1,500 experience. So a little bit of time before we'll see the next level up.
Yeah, now Yakko's up to level 9. He's basically caught up. And it's just all exploration now, which, again, we've seen a little bit of it, and we haven't seen anything. Just looks like... I don't think our players are rolling the exact same direction either. There's just nothing nearby.
Yeah, we're playing with a small map, but small maps are still fairly large, as we've seen in several seeds this week with runners having some difficulties navigating the map. But yeah, we're getting lots of exploration here. We'll see who's the first to find something outside of Tantagel.
It is fun to see people with 89 attack power throwing out those hurt casts, but the Droll needed it to get taken down, and I think Vennicus used one on a Demon Knight for a similar situation where he was just hitting for nothing, but these enemies don't seem like they're very valuable either.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's throwing out hurt more. Juef's taking a few of those now to the face, trying to get away, just cannot get out, and he's going to get sent back and find out that big experience need for the next level. YakkoWakko found out about the Star Wyvern's DL2 breath.
And through all that, Hate has found Cole, our first town. Looked like a copper sword, and maybe there was some armor or a shield. I think it was armor, so he's not going to worry about that. You already, start with Erdrick's armor. You don't really need to buy anything else the rest of the game. You probably shouldn't.
Yeah, definitely should ignore the armor pickups there. Does find the stones and coal. Has an alternate chest down here, and we'll see what that is momentarily.
I have to admit to enjoying the Final Fantasy thief character there. The blue that shows up on all the NPCs because of it is interesting. It looks pretty blurry on my end, but it's a different color you don't see a whole lot unless you use those characters.
Well, everybody's still pushing the exploration. Kind of surprised that at least one person hasn't found like an enemy they like and sat down. We did see 167 experience Druin down here on Vennicus' side.
And now juef17 that as well. That could be a good one, especially with a desert nearby. And, he took a step backwards. Maybe he's thinking that, trying to get rid of the wizard, though. We do see Magician is very strong. Yakko now has that knowledge, fortunately or unfortunately.
Yeah, as chat noting, there is a bamboo shortage in Alfgard this week, and the bamboo pole is on sale for a nice sum of 7,200 gold.
It's those darn pandas. They're just eating everything.
I'm thoroughly expecting a grouping of locations to show up at some point. We've seen a lot of dead ends so far. We do have a cave up here on HaateXIII side, so maybe a little more knowledge coming.
Yeah, I guess you could say in a world where the bamboo pole costs 7,200, you would call that pandemonium.
I feel bad for laughing. Vennicus finding out magicians are hitting pretty hard. I've seen one just shy of 50 so far.
Yes, this might be the magician's probably in Sharlock. Note on the paper there because they are acting like it.
Yeah, strong attack, and he's tanked a lot of hits so far. Definitely over 100 in HP damage, and still not dead.
Anyway, HaateXIII finds the fighter's ring. I think that's our first chest check. Of 4 more possibilities here in the first floor, and then we'll see if he decides to dive or not.
Vennicus finally takes down the magician for a whopping 1 experience.
Well, that is one enemy I will not want to see again.
At least 1 chest up top here in the vanilla location on Grave, so we'll get a check of that from Hate here in a moment, while Juef is also joining him in Grave.
Yeah, again, it will be interesting to see if anyone chooses to dive here. That is not usually the thing you expect to see early in a seed, but there is a gold grind. If we'd seen a town where you might need to spend that money, that could be useful. But again, we're going to see here on Yakko's side that this shop is not very useful for anything right now.
Yeah, plus the runners already have 2 of the 5 items that they truly care about. Still outstanding, the Harp Token and your Erdrick Sword.
Right, now Vennicus finding Remolder. The usual Remolder lottery is off the table. Because 1, we don't really need keys for anything, and 2, there's no chest there. But we do see the 1 chest down there with a torch, and is there one here in, I don't know what we call this building. I've heard Town Hall for Garanham, but that doesn't feel right for Rim. What do you want to call it?
It kind of looks like in Dragon Warrior 3 where you go and pick up all your party members.
If I knew anything about Dragon Warrior 3, I would be able to comment about that. But Vennicus does pick up the Flame Sword at a reasonable price. I think we saw, was the Silver Shield 6,000? Was that what I saw there?
No, that was the Large Shield.
You're probably still putting that in your mind. Okay, maybe I do want to save just a little bit of gold just in case, because large versus small is pretty important. Not necessarily, but you might want it when you start seeing some of these wicked enemies. And whoa, speaking of money, Metal Slime worth a ton, and also getting Vennicus level 12, which has Hurt More and pretty much nothing else.
Yeah, 1110 Hurt More though. Hurt More is very nice for some of these beefier enemies, although they've been able to get through most of them. Even that magician, it just was a slog.
Yeah, We haven't seen anything that's an instant death yet. We've seen things that are definitely lethal, but nothing that, the moment you see it, you just assume you're going to die.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the seed to surprise us here, but we've got diving on Juef's side as well. We'll see if anything of note shows up down here.
Yeah, everybody is deep diving grave except for Vennicus. So I don't know if we're necessarily going to see an advantage one way or another, but we'll see as he is in Garanham. He does have the Flame Sword, Erdrick's armor. All he really is looking for now is a shield, and there is no shield.
No shield, but there is an alternate chest down here in the end. We'll see if it has any of these items they're looking for, or if it's another torch.
Well, I do know a few things about Dragon Warrior 3. I just haven't played it, so I do not know what the building where you find the people is called. And so Garen him another torch, and the room where the guards are staring at the chest has the cursed belt. Maybe he just broke the curse so the guards can go on with their lives instead of living in a closet staring at it.
Now, I have to imagine after the doors open, they spend the rest of the time arguing over who's going to walk out first. But downstairs is Mountain Cave.
All right, looks like that might be a more interesting experience than Grave, which so far has been some rough enemies and some lack of anything.
Yeah, finding a lot of disappointment and nothing so far in Grave for sure. Do have the Erdrick's token.
All right, token and mountain. He's got one of the key items. He didn't pick up the stones because he hasn't seen coal yet, but you imagine that you'll find coal someday.
Yeah, if the other three found it, and I think it was just kind of east-southeast, shouldn't be too much of a problem once he goes exploring that direction.
So I think our other three players have seen everything in Grave except for, the traditional Grave 5 chest. Which will be the only one that might actually have something.
Yep, that's it for them as far as options, and we'll see if there's even a chest there. We had gold in the top right of Mountain 1, and Vennicus is going to try and get downstairs.
Yeah, Wolflord is another one of those enemies you mark down. Might be a Sharlock enemy, hitting pretty hard, has a decent amount of hit points, and not very much experience, unfortunately. But yeah, at this point, the way this looks, this is an advantage to Vennicus to not deep dive Grave, if he chooses to not do it later. Obviously, we'll see, but there is the one chest left, so I might be getting a little ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. So 0 for 2 so far downstairs in Mountain, though. Going to the top left, and there is the one alternate chest there.
Werewolf causing us to pause. And there is Hate Sees It. There is nothing in Deep Grave at all. That is just amazing.
Yeah, so Grave just giving up the Fighter's Ring. I guess that's a nice consolation prize from the top, but it kind of feels bad, especially knowing that you weren't able to really take down any good enemies on the dive, so it didn't really pay off from that piece either.
Yeah, generally just feels bad, that entire dive. You might be kicking yourself a little bit, but when it comes to faster seeds like this, it's really tempting to think, I just need to dive Grave now because I need to get through it. I can't come back later.
Yeah, I can definitely see that mindset for sure. Nice crit on the Blue Dragon going down here for a whopping 6. He should be getting to this final chest in Mountain on Vennicus' side, and we'll have a little bit more knowledge on where things are, getting more gold.
Well, he's got his gold. Now he can get out. Assuming he chooses to cast outside. The fact that the Druid is in here is kind of nice. They would have been enemy on first floor Grave. I don't know if we saw them, though. Oh, and that one ran away. Unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate. That's one of your good enemies for sure. Haven't found what people have started to call the Unicorn, which is one of those really high XP enemies yet. Everything under 200 so far from what I've seen, but we still have some spike tiles available. We still have defined coordinates if they exist. Hawksness could have something good as well. And
speaking of that, Juef has now entered South Swamp, so we might see a spike check. Might not. It's usually not the most eager thing to go after, especially when you have decent stats already and how much you need. But he might try to go in and either rescue the princess or rescue the potential chest that the princess is hoarding in there.
Yeah, very important to check that location, as we've seen at least in one race this week so far. You never know what may be hiding somewhere.
Yeah, it's honestly been a little bit more of a thing than I expected, that we've had a number of players get, just messed up with the random chest locations, missing one here or there. Swamp in particular has caught a few people.
This Wolf Lord is just vicious. 61, 69, and now 81 hit damages to the hero here as he's trying to get through it.
Was that the spike, or was the magician that Hate is fighting the spike? I can't remember who got to it.
I was like, I don't think Juef got there, and it had heal more on the back end.
Oh, that's wonderful. The fact that, it looks like you have to kill a magician is not good. Like, this is not going to be the grind. At least I hope nobody attempts to grind this. This would be really silly.
Yeah, I mean, 1 XP at a time, you know?
So we haven't seen an absolute, that Wolf Lord's pretty close to an absolutely murderous enemy, but we've seen a lot of silliness. There on the bottom right, we've seen Vennicus pick up the stone, so he'll have that decision, because I believe Grave is nearby, whether or not he goes after that. And we do see the princess is not hoarding a chest, but I think Hate wants to nab her anyway.
Yeah, and Juef was unable to get through his magician, getting low on MP there, and unfortunately takes that death. Does find out he's just shy of 500 away from the level, so just shy of 2,600 experience needed.
Yeah, so we'll see some people hit 13 here before too long, unless they spend a lot of time in towns.
So here we go. Vennicus finding the grave here. We'll see what he opts to do. We know he should get that fighter's ring and get out, but we'll see if he feels that way after having already cleared mountain and not getting much going at this point.
And we haven't seen Caitlyn, so we don't really know what the coordinates have, if they have anything. We do know that the princess in this flag set, being able to tell you how much experience you have to the next level with random experience, can be really useful. Some people will go after her specifically just for that thing, but not always. Now, Vennicus picking up his fighter's ring. He's got a couple more places to check, and then we'll see if he decides to deep dive Grave as well.
Yep, otherwise we got Hate running around with the princess right now in the overworld. We have another cave on his screen. We'll see what that is in a moment. And Juef and YakkoWakko kind of walking around as well. Looks like in a similar area. So we'll see if we get any of these other missing locations soon.
Oh, Juef taking out a Magic Wyvern for 179, I think. But I think that was 2 Hurt Morris to kill. So it might not be the most ideal enemy. Although I suppose... No, it's just 1. So yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, there's decent enough enemies around here. Although YakkoWakko, I see throwing up Repel there. Might be repelling some of those decent enemies. Juef did get the level, as did Vennicus, though. Came with a big bump in MP.
Yeah, that was our lagging stat. Now it's agility, and you can kind of survive lagging agility. Especially in Chaos, because there's just the way that the curves work and the random stats, it's nice to be able to run from a few more things, of course, but everything gets the weakest enemy group. Everything in the overworld is easier to run from than normal anyway, or as equal to, or easier. So I don't know. Anyway, Hate is now in Tablet. That must have been that cave that we were talking about before.
No, he found the jerk, and then just past the jerk was this. So there is the vanilla chest at the end here. We'll see if it pays off for him.
And it's fairy water, so not that useful. Looks like he's going to walk out. Yeah, he still hasn't really refreshed from before. He might be thinking about casting Return at this point, or throwing out some wings if he's got them. Or maybe he's just hoping to stumble into a town.
Yeah, it looked like he was kind of into a dead-end area here, so he might very well be thinking about that Return at this point, after he confirms if it's a dead end.
Ooh, trying to run from the Druin. That's not... No, kill that guy. That's a good enemy. And Vennicus is deep grave, so we'll be back with him in about 3 minutes after he finds nothing.
Exactly, and that's a feel bad moment for Hate if he doesn't realize that Druin pays off one of the better enemies we've seen. One shot 167s. Although the one shot metal slimes from 193 is also a nice consolation prize.
And again, if for some reason you need gold, that's a great enemy. But it does look like those two are in the same zone. If you get, it's one thing to get a medal that's worth 193. It's another to have another enemy in the zone that's worth killing. And if that Druid's in that same zone, then that might be a zone we see people grind in. Or at least that might be a zone that people should grind in.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially since we already know at least one of the spikes is a complete bust in Swamp with the Magician and one experience for a lot of fighting. We'll find out more once we get to Hawksness, but based on some of these stronger enemies, we've not seen anything giving anything worthwhile so far.
We see another. I think we've seen this cave before, haven't we? I don't feel like he's in new grounds, but yeah, that's the south side of Swamp. So maybe he's gonna. Yeah, let's hope he doesn't tarry too long in here because Swamp is not a safe area with the Wolf Lord and etc.
Yeah, he's finding out this is a single continent because he just was in Swamp North, came out, went a little bit to the east and northeast, and came into Swamp South, and then finds Caitlin immediately afterwards.
Yeah, good deal. We'll get a few. Yeah, Silver Shield, very viable. Probably will buy the broadsword too without knowing about the flame sword or not. I guess I'll check everything else first. But that's a pretty good setup there. So we probably see Silver Shields because everyone will eventually find Caitlin, I imagine.
Yeah, especially if it does have something required on the coordinates here. No flame sword here. Hopefully he saw that chest up by the end. I'm assuming it will be going to the end regardless, just to top off MP.
That is true. Hate has been going a very long time without dying. He's just been holding that money, and it's sort of useful. Probably not as much as he had hoped, like no real advantage there, but he did have enough for the silver at least.
Hey, he had enough for that bamboo pole. Kind of surprising not to see him downgrade to that, but we are going to get a coordinate check here in a moment, and looks like we do have coordinates at 40 south, 46 east.
I imagine he's going to feel pretty good about that princess pickup. That's countable, but it's not simple, easy countable. So, you know, no problem. Just having the princess help you with that. There's no shame in asking for directions.
No, not at all. Plus, you're getting a 2-for-1. You're going to find out when that next level is as well. No chest in the bottom left and an herb in the top.
All right, now Juef has come across the mountain cave, so we might see that dive there, and he might get his token in just a little bit. As far as key items, I mean, we still haven't seen the flute, we still haven't seen the death necklace, harp and sword, all outstanding. So, you know, the locations we can find stuff are starting to dwindle, but that overworld search spot is only a 50% chance of something being vitally useful.
Yeah, we got that, and no confirmation we have all search plots in play, but we do have the Hawks potential still in play also, so, a couple towns here.
Yeah, it would be Hawksness and Breckenary? I think that's the only other place we haven't seen. And hey, DL2 Breathing Stone Man, right off the bat, exactly what you want to have happen. But down in 1 hurt more for 108. That might wind up being the grind. Unfortunately, can't walk underneath Hawksness, but does find the sword there.
No, absolutely agree. That would be a very viable grind. 108 a pop, repeatable with a refresh town right next door.
Yeah, it's I mean, and you could also just swing on it once and see how that works. But yeah, shoot. Now he's Hate stuck up on this Droll who is not pleasant, not exactly a Drollgon Lord, but not an enjoyable enemy to fight.
Yeah, and doing something a lot of people don't think about. He went down and went right onto those desert tiles. Higher encounter. Go left if you have the armor. You don't take any damage and you have less chance of running into enemies.
Well, they found a good one. Wraith with 143 experience. So maybe even peek the zone there a little bit. See if there's some other good stuff in the desert instead of the Stone Man. But we'll see what he does if he decides to go back in and have some fun with the Stone Man for a little bit. Kind of feel like he's not, since he had some resources to spare.
Yeah, I would assume it looks like he is solely focused on exploration, so kind of lagging a little behind on experience, not really too far, 500-700 behind. Meanwhile, Juef into Mountain Cave, going to pick up his token if he didn't already. Probably did when he went past those top left stairs.
Or he didn't check them, and now he knows, so hopefully he does go back.
Yeah, he sees that chest, so yeah, exactly. Hopefully he doubles back to that, because that is the one item in here that we care about.
And Vennicus gets the princess and then actually walked back through the magician's spike instead of outsiting out. Curious decision, but and not really punishing him. I think the magician isn't too soft when it comes to using hurt more.
All right, so let's see. He's going to go out south, and it was just northwest of here that Cantlin was at. So as long as they walk that direction, nope, going the opposite direction. Otherwise, they would have saw it. All right, we got to save Princess for Hate here, so he is most likely going to make a beeline towards those cords, which has a decent shot at being a herp at this point.
So what else do we have that that could be a harp? Honestly, I can't think of what else is left that this could be anything else.
No, you're absolutely right. I'm positive that we have cleared everything. We've seen all the towns now. We've seen all the terrible caves, and so we're going to get a harp off these cords.
Yeah, for a second there, I was like, well, no, have we seen Stone's Cave? I'm like, oh yeah, you mean the guy who's hiding in the basement with nothing. I wish maybe, I don't know. Some of us might relate if he had, a computer or something down there.
The only thing I can't think off the top of my head that we haven't seen would be the exchange cave for the staff.
And it's quite possible we might have just missed that because, now, well, look, Vennicus found it, so it does exist.
Very good. All right. So, it's in that whole trio of all those caves over there on the side. So the jerk's right near here as well then, so that'll be easy exchanges.
So YakkoWakko picking up his token, which puts, Jeff, Yakko, and Vennicus kind of all about in the exact same spot. Hate's done a little bit different work, and I think he just got the understanding that he went the wrong direction. That you apparently are going to have to go more south than east to wind up going to the southeast. So whenever Hate finishes this part up, what he's going to have to do is just get back to find Garenham and get into that mountain cave, which if he checks that top right location, or top left location, won't take very long.
Absolutely. And taking a look at these levels, Vennicus just leveled up and actually got 2 levels out of that. A real big bump in agility. I think it was plus 18 over the 2 levels. So Juef only had plus 3 or 0 off 13 to 14. So he's going to get that big 18 bump momentarily because it's very close to the level.
And level 15, with the sword, he picks up a shield. He has the stats to win. Might not be the stats needed in this particular seed to win, but in a vanilla one, you would probably be thinking about it.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. You got that 127 HP. You're most likely going to be looking at doubles, things of that nature. So still got some exploration to wrap up here. Hasn't came across Cantlin, unfortunately, which is what we know he's going to need to do to get those cords, which we should be seeing Hate possibly picking up. He was kind of walking around the desert there and then walked away.
Oh, yeah, he picked up the harp. So we were right about that. Or I should say we weren't wrong about it.
And it's amazing to me, all these runners, their first location, the other 3 was Cole. And then, or no, he just had the stones. Tokens and Mountain Cave, is that correct?
Right, that's the thing that Hate is missing. And then JuefWakko and Vennicus are missing Cantlin. And which, was it Breckenary that had the sword in the chest?
No, sword was under that stone man in Hawksness.
Oh, right. I forgot the town that was next to it. So, yeah, once they head that direction, Cantlin is kind of along that way too, if I remember right. So, and that's where Vennicus is going. He is heading that direction. So, assuming he gets there and just continues on the path and doesn't warp back, he should get all of the stuff he needs pretty quickly.
Yep, here we go. There's Cantlin. So, let's see if I think he has the gold. Yeah, he has the gold for the silver shield. So we'll see a silver shield pick up here in a moment and some coordinates.
he already had the flame sword, so he doesn't need to check the shop for that. Hate has no reason. Basically, everyone, on the right side, doesn't check shops anymore, and he'll get the coordinates. And yeah, it's just all. Does he go back to the castle, or immediately, or does he continue searching in this direction? Which, if he does work back, that's gonna hurt a little bit. It might not hurt as much as you think because he still needs to turn in the staff, and that is to the west, if I recall right, around the same area.
Yeah, I think it's over in that same general area. Just those towns were a little bit north of all that, so he's getting his cords. Yeah, we'll see. He's got 2 key items that he's really wanting to find. Obviously, probably assuming one of those is those cords, but does look like he doesn't immediately return. So going to finish out the exploration of here, possibly.
Yeah, and there he is. He found the Harp Cave. That's very important. And again, I don't really know where Carenham is though. That one, it's a little elusive to me about where it is on the map. And then again, he does need a little bit more levels. We mentioned before, 15 is possible, but we don't know how much experience it is past that. That could be a very important decision on who ends up winning this race.
Absolutely, and here we go. We got 16 on Juef's side, I believe. I missed the stats, but we got Vennicus in here, hopefully going to get his sword as long as he throws that hurt more out. Oh, he's just going to try and sleep this guy.
You might have gotten a little bit of vanilla overlap. Yeah, you're not going to swing on that guy, but he's going with the sleep again, and we'll probably see the hurt more cast here in a second, and there we go.
Yeah, we saw that whopping 1 damage from the swing, so expect to see them in Sharlock potentially. He's also going to get a level up before the sword.
So yeah, so much for 15 possibly being the go level when 17 came so fast. Might see I was going to say we see a princess check, but unfortunately you're not allowed, you don't gain her love until you return her to her father. Like right now, it's just like a state of, I don't know, like mild maybe.
Yeah, she's still feeling a little down from having been in that dark cave for a while there, so she's got to get back on that throne to be her best and be able to give you numbers.
It's complicated. Very good. Yeah, maybe it's that she can only tell you how far away from her you are. So right now, if you asked her, she would say you're 0 distance apart, I guess.
Yeah, very, very fair. Very fair. We got Juef going up to these locations here, Cantlin, and then if he continues his exploration, we'll get up to where Hawks and the sword is. Vennicus does opt to finally go back with the princess here. We should see those coordinates, and he'll be potentially the first one of our runners in full Sharlock accessible mode.
Absolutely, and Yakko and Juef not too far behind. Both in Cantlin, both probably, hopefully, and their sakes, actually going to follow the same footsteps here because going a different direction would actually be pretty bad at this point if they decide to return, and that's what Yakko did.
And no princess in hand, just going to start catting this out as we see the stutter steps there. We'll see what Juef decides to do here, getting that top off, going down to get their news about the cords, and I don't know, man. This could be rough for Yakko with that return. Might be a while before he gets back that way, or even potentially risk the bottom of Sharlock.
Yeah, so Hate needs to figure out where Carenham is, and for the life of him can't. I feel like he's researched the entire map and is just not finding it. So, pretty good news for Juef and Vennicus at this point. Although Vennicus did get the news, another 1,000 experience for level 18. We might see that one come too, because that's not too hard. And he's wandering in deserts where we've seen these good enemies before.
Yeah, wandering the map looking for a location. I'm gonna have to take a 5-minute PTSD break.
That is still less time than never mind.
All right, here we go. Juef did not return out of there. Finds out the big 1 to 2 damage range he's doing, but should throw out that hurt more here momentarily. Didn't find out about the DL2 breath yet, though.
Now, so what do we see on the spikes? We see Magician and Stoneman. So they're in the Sharlock formula. You assume Wolflord is. Kind of assume a Droll is going to be just because they've been obnoxious. And usually if you see something that's obnoxious, it's in Sharlock. So kind of have to plan a little bit mentally about that because Like for the Magician and maybe the Wolf Lord, I think that Hurt more is going to be pretty necessary.
No, absolutely. And I'm kind of rooting for an unknown, whether it's hard or not to be determined. But I'd like to see an enemy that we have not seen on stream yet.
So a regular slime? I don't think we've seen one of them.
Oh, absolutely. Regular slime wallops you for like 98 or something of that nature with that little silly smile on its face. It'd be fantastic.
And Juef had to think about it for a while, but realized that all he needs now is this spot. So he's warped back. He's going to turn the princess. Yakko is just, he's got the harp. He turned that in. Vennicus leaving the cave just as well. So now it's a rush to the jerk cave, which I'm not exactly sure if Vennicus knows where that is, because he's still kind of wandering around.
Yeah, it's in this vicinity, this area somewhere over here near that. But I'm not sure exactly. I can't quite picture it. All the caves look the same when they were over here. But Yakko, I've been thinking about this sword thing. He's at what, I think 128 attack and then just got that level. He might still just go ahead and give this a shot with a flame sword at this point.
True, definitely possible. He has enough to do it. That's not something that people think of just off the bat, especially when he knows he's missing 2 towns, and one of them being Hawksnest, which is usually not that difficult. It can be, but usually, in Chaos, I guess it just depends.
All right, Rainbow drops aplenty on the bottom here. We got 2 runners, and Vennicus immediately uses those wings and is rounding the corner here towards Sherlock right now.
Yeah, interesting. He's not topping off on the MP. Is a little bit back, so maybe he doesn't assume he's just going to get through this one and wants to see what's up.
I can understand that. Always assume you're going to get through. Just assume it's going to be the baby Dragon Lord battles and hope you have enough. But let's see. We got a spike that could potentially wreck our runners, and then we have a wild card in Dragon Lord 1 and some mild annoyances with the HP range and possible sleep or heal from Dragon Lord 2.
So Juef warped back and then went through Swamp Cave and tried to turn in a non-existent harp. I think he forgot that he needed to grab that. Now, I don't know. He's way, way, way far away. He might be thinking about the coordinates backwards, actually, if he's not warping back at this point.
Oh no, that's a little rough. We'll see. We'll see if you can get that straightened out here. We're about to find out our Sherlock spike though, and we have the Wolf Lord.
Oh, hey, it's Terror.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he knows about the heal more yet, but with these attacks, he might be able to get through it.
Yeah, seeing the Herp cast and the fact that Wolf Lord doesn't really have any agility is pretty nice. So he'll be almost at full resources, or at least like the full resources he came in with. We'll see if he thinks about the Death Necklace. I know sometimes people are very anti that in Chaos, so we'll see if he decides for that or not. And opening attack for 41, but the Dragon Lord hits for 73. So he's a little strong.
Dragon Lord did not skip weight room day, that's for sure. Holy cow, but does go down.
All right, so Vennicus has 11 heal mores in the bank. No idea what the Dragon Lord has here. Could have 100 hit points, could have 230 hit points, could have sleep, could have heal, could have nothing but normal.
Well, it looks like we're going to get lots of opportunities at doubles here. No sleep yet. Could still be a 25% sleep and sneak in here. He does go ahead and throws out the stop spell. It has no effect.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's always a weird formula to decide if that's worth it or not. You haven't seen sleep yet, so you're kind of assuming he doesn't have that. Having sleep would make this fight pretty much a cakewalk for Vennicus, but the fact that he doesn't, or at least we haven't seen it, it's going to be a little bit more of a struggle.
No, absolutely. But we still have several heal mores in the tank here, doing some moderate damage here. There's another double on his end. So we're going to get well into the kill zone. Just how much HP is this guy going to have, and will he have heal on the back end?
But he is swinging very well again. His range 145. That is 11 to 22, and we just saw a 22.
Yeah, it always feels nice when you see 20-somethings and you're smashing the Dragon Lord with them.
Yeah, I believe he's at 132, if my math is correct. I might have lost track. Another double perfect, and I think that's at 167. I might be just throwing out random numbers at this point.
Yeah, I never even try to keep count on these. I'm terrible at it when it's not me, but there's the heal.
All right, so we know he is somewhat close to being dead, and he does have heal, and oh shoot, he cast it twice in a row. That is a good sign. This is probably Vennicus' fight, as long as there's no missed menus or no basic mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's another free swing there, at least 2 coming up, and it might be the kill on this one, and nope, we're going to need 1 more.
All right, and let's see, that is it. Vennicus has taken down the Dragon Lord. GG's out in chat to him. Really just kind of kept on pace throughout the entire race. Never quite seemed like he was in the lead until right at the end, but definitely earned this one.
No, absolutely, and it was amazing watching these runners. They did take wildly different pathways to finish, and now we got Juef in here getting ready to find out all about his experiences, and we'll see how he handles these situations.
And now Juef coming up to the Wolf Lord. We see Hate has just picked up the token, probably going to bum rush to get all of his turn-ins. Yakko also has everything, if I recall right. So we might see some more Sharlock runs from them almost at the same time.
Yep, here we go. We got a return from Hate, and he's doing his thing here. He's got to clean up the rainbow drop. I thought I saw Yakko at the rainbow, but maybe he overlooked that cave. But meanwhile, we got today's winner, Vennicus, joining us here in the booth. GG, Vennicus, how you feeling?
I did not think I would do that quickly. I think I got pretty lucky where everything was.
Well, I don't know about luck. I think that, again, when we were watching this, it seemed like everyone was kind of following the same sort of strategies of just, start exploring, don't worry about grinding. Did you even do a grind at any point? Was that even on your mind, or did it just all come to you?
No, I didn't do a single grind. I felt like I got more encounters that seed than any other seed I've ever done. So all the skeletons, all the druids, I didn't even need to worry for levels. And by the time I had everything, level 16, level 17 was easy go mode. So yeah, it wasn't even in my mind.
I was just peeking at your endgame stats here. The 6 and 96 crit rate. That's like 1 in 15? That's pretty good. Was there anything with map exploration or something that was kind of tripping you up with this one?
Yeah, right off the bat, my pen died. So I did all of it with mental mapping, and so I got confused and turned around a few different ways with the swamp cave. But other than that, it felt like every town was tucked away in each individual corner. So I was hoping, like at first, I didn't run into anything. No towns, no caves. And so I was pretty sure I was behind. But then when I did the full loop, everything just kind of came together.
Now, I do want to interrupt. We have Juef getting near the end here. He did get a stop spell to land partway through the race, so we do know this heal on the back end, if it does throw it out, will be blocked, and he should be getting into that range momentarily. And Hate just completed all of his pieces as Yakko finally figures out this is the rainbow drop. So we should have the other 2 runners getting into Sharlock really close together.
Yeah, the one difference is that Hate is a couple levels back, so it doesn't quite have the same sort of resources or juice to get through. We'll see if 15 with that is enough, or if he may actually sneak in that extra level while he's grinding. Probably not, because he's still about 1,700 experience behind, I think. So, have you done a lot of practice seeds with this at all, Vennicus, or was this this chaos stuff still fairly new? At least compared to like last year when you did it.
I didn't get a chance to practice too much because I'm still working out the scheduling of a new job. However, I did watch every single race prior, So I managed to watch all the VODs and get an idea on how Chaos was. And I definitely had a better firm footing this year than last year. So I can't really complain on how everything turned out.
And on that note, Juef has finished off the Dragon Lord. Still have a couple of swings to go too, so not too scary of a fight, but he will be coming in here pretty soon with a second place finish. Very strong effort on his part. I did have another quick question for you, Vennicus. Did you, because we saw like a kind of a weird start, were you available right at the beginning, or did you get caught a little unawares, or was that just a lag issue on our end?
I think it was just a lag issue because I started pretty much right when the timer hit, so maybe just internet being a little weird.
Okay. Yeah, hardly worth mentioning. But yeah, Juef has finished. Yakko has got through. Hate was in here before Yakko, but Yakko got through it a little faster and is now on the Dragon Lord, so might be able to slide through here and end up getting the win after all. Again, Hate is not guaranteed by any means, because he has taken quite a few hits and is at a lower level.
Yeah, he's had to use more resources. The Wolf Lord was not playing well with him as well. But joining us in the booth now is our second place finisher. Juef, how you feeling today?
Feeling pretty good now that the seed's over, mostly. GG's, Vennicus. Super nice time. Congratulations.
Yeah, GG's to you too, Juef. I told you, easy sub-hour seed. I told you right off the start.
Did you notice what we just saw on YakkoWakko screen? The Dragon Lord 1 had sleep and sends him packing.
Ouch, that hurts.
I imagine if either of you saw that, you might still be playing, because that's unfortunate. That's worse than Wombo Combo. However, Hate also does not clear the Dragon Lord 1, so we have, again, committing dives here. But yeah, Juef, how was the seed overall? Did you feel... was there anything that you felt was kind of elusive to you, or did you feel like you had a pretty good handle on it?
I wouldn't say there was anything really elusive. I wish I had found the town earlier, mostly Cantlin to check for some equipment, but otherwise it just felt pretty right. It felt pretty right all along, I'd say. I have to say, Gwynlin's voice is so sweet that it sounded like a harp to me. I wanted to trade her for the staff, but the guy didn't want me to.
It's true. I did notice that. I thought at first maybe you had the coordinates backwards because that was so far to the west, but thankfully that wasn't the case. But yeah, that was noted. That was an interesting thing. But I think these flags can really get people tripped up on something or another. Yes, Beta saying it's Gwynlin's love, not Gwynlin's harp. Noted. So I think in your sense, Juef, it was the that northwest corner there that was kind of, at least I think that's where all that stuff was that was hiding. It seemed like everyone kind of avoided going north out of the swamp area, except Vennicus, who got there a lot faster. But in the meanwhile, kind of didn't find, if I remember right, didn't find Garenham right off the bat. So I was kind of looking for that. I think that was kind of our big difference between the different runners.
Yeah, Cantlin and HaateXIII were just behind Swamp, and I think I would have gone there much earlier if I had not died on my first. Well, I wanted to see what the spike tile was. It was a magician in Swamp Cave, and I had 10 MP left. I'm pretty sure he was close to being dead, but I did not have enough MP for heal more and outside. So I thought I'll just try it and see how it goes, and it didn't go well. So yeah, Cantlin and HaateXIII were some great towns to find early.
Well, update on YakkoWakko. Gets back to the Dragon Lord. 2 failed stop spells and gets slept after the second failed stop spell. So we're about to see round 3.
And it looks like Hate has decided that he just needs those levels. So he's trying to find, I think he's trying to find the Scorpion to grind on, and is getting Star Wyverns instead. But he's not too far away, so we might see that happen. And if Yakko continues to struggle here with DL1, might be able to still come through in this.
Yeah, and that's the level he wanted to see. That was the nice level up there. Opts not to top off that 17 MP he picks up, though, and immediately makes a beeline back to Sherlock.
That was another thing, because we saw you do the same thing, Vennicus, where you did not go back and heal up in the castle and went in, I think, a heal more down, or maybe it was a return cast down. What was your thoughts on that? Would you just feel like you didn't have any time to spare?
I felt like with like 145 attack power and 100 NP-ish, even if it's a failed dive, at least it's scouting, and if I win, I win.
All right. Well, it proved to not be any real importance, because I think you won with a few swings left to spare. So was there, once you saw that heal, I think it's the first time I've personally remember seeing, I'm sure it's happened before, the Dragon Lord heal 2 rounds in a row without you doing damage to it, because it just had that many hit points and you were that far in.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure, because I still don't know the math about heal, because is it like 20% that he starts doing it left, and I swing it a couple of times and I'm like, why is he not dead? Please die.
25%. And speaking of that, we just saw the double heal more from the Wolf Lord on both Yakko and we saw both players get that, which is very unfortunate. Now we see the cast come out, the stop spell, while Yakko just retreats.
Yeah, Yakko needs to speak to whoever he learned stop spell from, because his stop spell's been fairly defective.
But yeah, we see it on the screen, 152 hit points, 10 agility, 198 attack, 75% heal more, 50% hurt, 50% sleep resist. Design a more ridiculous enemy than that.
Yeah, that's a pretty fun spike for sure. Unfortunately, Hate here going to go into this battle with just 9 heal mores in the tank, while Yakko will have 11 as long as he can get through the first 4 in the Dragon Lord.
But Hate did clear the first find, did not see the sleep at all, and that's really important. So we'll see if he's able to get the hits in, even though he's a little bit lower on MP than you would like. The swings are not really cooperating, are they?
Yes, not cooperating, and because he was on that perfect number, did not throw out a stop spell. So hopefully for his knowledge, if he's not able to get there, at least can get the knowledge about the heal.
Well, who knows? Maybe he'll never see the heal, and he'll just be able to swing through. I imagine if that heal didn't proc on Vennicus' attack, I think he would have had it killed in the next hit.
Yeah, you're most likely right. I think we're looking around, about a 200 HP Dragon Lord to when all things are said and done.
But yeah, we have Yakko and Hate both in here at the same time. Hate has about 3 to 4 swings advantage, I believe, as far as the time goes into this fight. But, when it comes down to the heal casts and things like that, the fact that we don't know when the stop spell is going to hit, there's still a lot of variance in here. And we did have to pause these streams earlier, too, to line some things up. So we just don't quite know how this is going to turn out.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the Hate swings have definitely regressed to the lower end of these ranges, and he's not been getting much of the double action as well, although he does get one there.
And now we see the heal on Hate's side, and he's just swinging. I think he realizes he can't, if he wastes that turn. No, wait, no, he's used it. So now he's lost his heal more, and he has to hope that he procs that heal on the next attack, or he's, toast. And he does. So he has one shot at this point, but will he continue using the heal? And he did not. Oh, no.
Oh, man, I think he needed one more swing after that, too. One more heal from the Dragon Lord might have done it there. We'll see if Yakko fares any better here. Does have the blocked heal and is in that range right now.
Yep, so Hate, unfortunately, just didn't quite have the MP to get through it, but Yakko does, and the Dragon Lord goes down. We see those stats up on the screen. 50% heal. The 7 out of 16 stop spell seems just a little bit trollier than it maybe should have been in this one.
Yeah, third time's a charm here for YakkoWakko. Get those GGs out for him. Persevered through this. A very exciting finish for third between these two runners here. Going to finish with a 57:30.
Yeah, GG's to him. Played a very solid race throughout, but then just had, if I remember right, was it he couldn't find, was it that Yakko couldn't find Garenham? Or no, it was because Yakko actually cast Return out of Cantlin. He was right ahead of Juef at that point. And instead of continuing on that path, just returned back and then ended up having to trace that entire route back to where Breckenary and HaateXIII were past it, unfortunately. But was able to get through here, eventually get through the Dragon Lord one, who was just sleepy enough to be a problem for Yakko and Yakko only. But does come away here in third place.
Yeah, he had that return issue, and he also walked past the Rainbow Cave multiple times, not realizing it was the Rainbow Cave or misremembering where it was before he finally picked up that drop. But we got Hate through with a lot more resources this time. Let's see how these battles go for him.
All right. Will anyone but Yakko see the sleep, or will he just cruise through this fight? I don't think we've seen the Dragon Lord's hit points, but I mean, he just did 47, so that was a very squishy Dragon Lord. Now Hate's in excellent position to get through this. And yeah, we see the stats. 25% sleep, 7 out of 16 resist top spell, and a whole bunch of attack power. Not quite as bad as it possibly could be, but about as bad as you would ever want to see.
Yeah, he risked the stop spell at 48 HP, but it does pay off. Does get the stop spell landed, so now he's just got to get through it all. And get this down. Meanwhile, we do have our third place finisher, YakkoWakko, joining us. GG Yakko, how are you feeling?
Blech.
Yeah, you had some fun times with our Dragon Lord friends there at the end. In addition to just a little bit of exploration there, looking for your rainbow. Besides those items, though, how'd the beginning go for you? How'd you feel about getting out of the gate on this one?
Oh, well, we started with a 4-minute fight with a wizard. Why I did that? Because why not?
I loved it. As Aaron pointed out, you got the double critical there. I saw the one, he saw the next. It was a very long one for a hard-fought 12 experience.
And it gave me the level.
I think that's all that's important, is just getting out of level 1 jail, getting through it. But yeah, throughout the course of the seed, it felt like you were just right at the top. Like it was really hard to see much separation between anybody. I think Hate kind of fell behind in experience for a little while, but you know, at the end, I think one of the big things that changed stuff was the decision in Cantlin to cast Return. I mean, what were your thoughts after you know, when you did eventually find those later towns?
That I was probably behind. I remember I looked at my clock and I'm like, okay, I'm 20 minutes in, and the only town I've found so far is Cole. So I was like, this does not look very promising.
No, I was going to say, I mean, that's pretty much what everybody's experience was here. Not a lot of luck finding anything. Things were kind of far away outside of Charlock for whatever reason. But yeah, Cole was 3 of the 4 runners' first town and only town for a little bit there for sure.
Yeah, pretty much. The exploration was pretty much the killer here.
Meanwhile, let's get your GGs out here for HaateXIII. He's going to come in last here, but does persevere, gets that Dragon Lord down, and looks like we've got an instant join. How are you doing today, Hate?
She's going to say yes eventually, or she's going to relent eventually. That's all I can say. You'll see when the stream delay catches up.
We've got some but thou must, I'm assuming.
Yep. Yeah, no, that DL2 had to roll, what, 240 plus HP?
If you got the stats, let's see it.
Yeah, there we go. 220 on the HP. I knew it was in that ballpark.
Jeez, beasties. Yeah, it seemed to me that for me it was the quest for Geringham, and yeah. And then just not running into enemies that gave Garbo XP, but GG's to everybody else at least.
That did seem to be a significant separation, was just the experience value at the end. I think everyone had just kind of glided into level 17, but you just weren't quite able to get some of the good enemies along the way, or fighting them or whatever, which kind of hurt at the end. I mean, 15 was probably possible, but that just seems super rough.
Yeah, I know I got him down to at least the point where he was healing, but I just didn't have the gas for it.
So there is one thing we didn't mention for Yakko that I feel obligated to. So none of our other runners, I don't believe, saw the sleep cast from DO1, which was just on that 25%.
Oh my.
Oh, I was the lucky one. I got it twice.
Yeah, I only saw him do punch more and knock my head off a couple of times.
Yeah.
And there we go. The princess has officially been rescued, and Alfgard has officially been saved.
Yeah. Eventually I relented. I just wanted to see what my stats were.
So yeah, this was I mean, a pretty straightforward one once you guys got going. While there were some nasty enemies as far as experience goes, there were several that were in that nice 1 to 200 range. Nobody that really stood out above the rest as far as like 200 plus, but everybody did a fairly good job there. I mean, it was a fantastic race to watch. Just a little RNG at the end and getting lucky with a little bit of exploration is the differences here.
I think Ghost was the only one I saw that was over 200.
I saw the Magic Drake, he had 283.
Well, nice. Okay, you guys got a couple that I missed then. Very nice.
I think the Magic Drake kept running for me, unless it was a different one.
Yeah, I only found, the highest I found was the Druid at 167. That was my go-to.
I think I found a couple of metal slimes, and they were 193.
Yeah, metal slimes were like 193, 500 money. They were actually pretty good.
Well, looking ahead to week 4, we're going to be doing some vanilla-ish action. Any thoughts as we're going to be moving to that for you guys next week?
Please no Swamp North start. Please no Swamp North start. Please no Swamp North start.
It doesn't matter what's going to happen. I'm going to be 4th. I'm always 4th in vanilla races.
I'll race you to the bottom.
Good night, everybody.
Well, unfortunately, we will not have that. You guys will not get to rematch next week. Everyone will be playing somebody new. So if you're racing for last, you might tie.
All right, well, that's good enough for me.
Well, anybody else, any final thoughts on today or anything else before we wrap this up?
I just gotta say I appreciate everyone doing this early-ish race and everyone doing commentary like DK, Aaron. Always great to have you guys on comms. Archfield behind the scenes. RG and Cameo doing the tracking as always are amazing. And I appreciate you all.
Yeah, I just want to echo that, thanks to everybody for doing the crewing for us this morning. And, thanks to the audience for, chilling while we were doing silly things. And hopefully we put on an entertaining show at least.
Well, I, for one, was entertained.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I said it before, but this was a fantastic race to watch between you 4. It was really tight with various, very big variance in exploration, but everything kind of coming together towards the end.
Well, I'm glad everyone enjoyed. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching and for commentating and tracking and managing all this. It's very, very much appreciated.
Yes, thank you all, everyone, and thank you all for tuning in. I know football season's over, so it's the next best thing on a 1 p.m. Sunday.
Yeah, much like the NFL season, we have a game for you at 4 o'clock. Well, usually 4:30 in the NFL, but we're just going to do it at 4 because we do what we want. But our last race of this week, week 3, will be at 4 o'clock. And then after that, we will have the group reveals for week 4. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, we're sending this party over to High Spirits. I believe he is knee-deep in Spirit Con, his various RPG events. So give him a holler, say hi to him. And on behalf of our crew, on behalf of Archfield, our streamer, excuse me. Sorry, I had a little coughing fit. On behalf of RG365 and Kami and our trackers, and my co-commentator DK9146, I'm Aaron to you too. Thank you all for watching, and take care.